As guys, yesterday we did cover that how we will create the structure of a table, but I have a questions that someone asked. Can you repeat it once again? So we will create one another table and we will learn it. And after that, we will do it. We will learn how to drop the created table, how to delete the created table inside a database schema. Now, before starting, do we have any questions regarding yesterday lectures? Any breakpoint, anything that is confusing to you, which is irritating you? You can ask. Okay, just the entry for a table. Okay, Fazil, no worries, we will do that. No, want to know more command. Okay, Ahmad, no worries, we'll learn commands. As of now, let's go to the MySQL Workbench. Open your MySQL Workbench, all of you. Let's create one another table, guys. Okay. For creating one another table, I will do what I will do. Let me zoom it a little bit for you. I will use the create command. Create syntax I will use. Okay. Create. The syntax, the rule is create table. After that, you have to name the table. So I will name it employee. Employee. Put a semicolon. It's a good habit. Now, employee has ID, AID. So data type is int, and I will put a constraint primary key. Primary key because ID is not changeable and it must not be duplicated. Okay, next EMP name. EMP underscore name. I will do like this. I will use camel casing. EMP name. I will use for that word text data type. Next, we will use employee email. For email, I will use worker. That will be, I will give the size 50 character. I will put a comma. Next, I will use phone number. Phone number. I will use worker data type for that as well. And I will put 12 digit for that. So if you want to add more column, more fields, you can add as for the need of information, what user needs from you. You can add it accordingly. But as of now, I will stop till this point. You can add anything that you want. Now the point is that, yes.
I was going to ask, can you explain what primary key means again?
Okay. Primary, yeah, primary key is a constraint that we are saying we are pointing the SQL table that whenever I put a primary key constraint with alongside with that ID, this means that whenever I'm entering data, now we will study that how we insert data. Whenever I'm inserting data, it should not be duplicated. Suppose, for example, let me clear it in this whiteboard. For example, this is your table. Inside your table, you have ID, you have name, and you have other columns. In this side, if you add a primary key, it means that this data should not be duplicated. Suppose I'm adding one, Ali, and the other information. So can I do it like this, that I will add ID of one for one another person, Ahmad? So this will make what? This will damage the health of my data inside the table. This is totally wrong. So we use primary key constant for that purpose, that it should not allow the user to add a duplicate value of other columns. So instead we have to add two. Suppose if you add a primary key constant inside a table, and if you do what? If you do add one, the system will notify you whenever the development team working in creating projects. The system will notify them that, hey, this section, this column, this field is primary key constraint, so you cannot add a duplicate value for that. You need to change the value for that. Hope your question is clear.
Yes, thank you.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Okay. Now we have to run this command, this syntax that we have created right now. For that, we need to do what? We need to click at the end of that for selecting the line which we are executing. Now you have to come here. We have one symbol. Let me take the screenshot of that, those who join new, so they can understand it as well. Right here, we have what? We have one thundering button, this, which has one symbol on the top of that. It is an eye symbol, I guess. Yeah, you have to click on that. Now your duty is that come and click on that. Where it says error, no database selected. Okay, now our big mistake is that we start our MySQL right here. I made it by myself so that you can understand it before creating any table. Yesterday, I seen many errors comes like this. So in here, whenever you see a cross mark, just read the error. In a message section, error code 1046, no database selected. It means that we didn't select any database. For that, let's select a database. On top of that, come and use utilize use command. Use on which database you want to create. So I will create on test 1. So I will do what? I will first execute this use test one. So database is selected. Now I will come click on the end of the line number 13, and I will execute this. Now, if you see on the bottom of my screen, I have a green check button. It says the 0 row affected. It means that my query is executed successfully. Now, if I refresh it, you can see that I have one another table named employee. Now, if I do it, if I describe it, so DES, describe what? Describe employee. Put a semicolon, hit the thundering button. You can see that you have clear structure of the employee table. This is exactly the structure of your employee table, which you created right now. Fazal, you got the point that how we will create the table? Is your question is clear? Great, Sardar. Fazal, are you in class? Are you in the class, Fazal?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Your doubt is clear now?
Yes, the only issue I have is I get a yellow sign sometimes when I'm utilizing this command.
Okay.
Utilizing.
You got a yellow
So it
sound.
says,
Okay, share your
yeah.
screen. Let's watch.
um,
You know, guys, these error are very vital error for you. Whenever anyone facing if I'm asking screen sharing, so see it, you're gonna learn a lots of things from that. And when you face that error, you will solve it by yourself. Okay. Well, it say it's
This
a
is
warning. Okay, it's a warning, so no worries at all. Don't worry about the warning. So whenever you're creating any table, so you have to first select the database. So you select the database or more, and after that you create a table quantity inside that. And after that you use a test database, and after that you create a table inside that. That's a great job. Hit the refresh button and see whether the table is created or not. The refresh button and click on that expandable button on the table. Yeah, click on the expandable button. Yeah, let's see. You're good to go. Your employee table is already created. Now you can stop your sharing. Great job, Fazal. Now, guys, let's jump into our today's commands. We will study that how we will drop the created table which we create. Drop means what? Okay, let me
Delete.
clear cut this. Let's erase that. Now, whenever you select a table, suppose, for example, you create a table which is junk table and you don't need to keep it inside your database. So this table is a junk table. We don't need to keep it till end of the project. For that, how we will delete the structure of this table, or by mistake, we created, what? This table. So with the help of which command we can delete this? With the help of drop command, like we did drop the databases, we can use the drop command for deleting what? Deleting the structure of the table from schema itself, from database itself. So for that, we will use like this, syntax like this. Drop table, it's a syntax. Now you need to identify the name of that table. Suppose I will drop my employee table, which I created. Employee table. This is the syntax. Now let's jump in to my SQL command and drop that employee table. For dropping that, we will do what? Let's do one thing. Use what? Test one, put semicolon. I selected the database. Now we'll do it. Now I will do drop table, name the table, employee, which table you wanna get rid of. Employee, put a semicolon. Now, if you consider right here, I have employee, I have student in test one. Whenever I execute this command, you can see that automatically my employee table got deleted. So if you don't see it, just hit the refresh button. You will see definitely the changes. This was for deleting the structure of the table inside our database. The drop command was how to drop a table inside a database was new for you. Just do one thing. I will share the practice. Okay, create new database, name it anything, new DB, then do it, make a table inside that, create a table inside that, like that, and delay drop it. Just do it now. I will give you 2 minutes. Create a table, use it. After that, do what? Create a table, drop it. Whenever once you're done, just type yes in the chat box or done in the chat box. You have 2 minutes. Okay, somebody, you did it. I'd asked to create a new table, make use it, create a new syntax for that. If you do copy and paste, so it's not acceptable. You have to write it down manually. I guess you make a use of already created table inside your schema. Yeah, definitely. You will do it from this beginning part. That will be a great revision for you as well. Okay. Okay. We have a question from Mustafa Mangal that can you explain use test one? Okay, Mustafa, test one is my database name that I created yesterday. And use command is for selecting that database. Whenever you do any operation on one of your database which you want, you have to first select that database. For selecting that database, you need to use the use command itself.
Can I share my screen there for fun?
Okay, great job, Sadam. Yeah, sure. Share your screen, please.
Okay, I created a table, but I didn't drop it yet. I didn't execute this command yet, but I have a question about the table right here.
Mhm.
It's not the table that it doesn't look like the one that we have created yesterday.
Yeah, I guess you inserted some value inside that. You can see that we have one sample Nasib.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a structure. Okay, okay, you described the Nasib. That's okay. Now you want to drop that table?
Yeah, I didn't execute, but the question is that does this table does not look like the one that we have created yesterday.
It might be that you created yesterday by yourself at the time of practicing.
Yeah, yesterday, it was the name, first name, last name in here, and then all these email and the phone number was all under the table, but
Mhm.
it's just showing the name.
Can you
It's
refresh left-hand side of your screen, that table sections? Yeah, refresh it. Now, yesterday I create test one. So just, yeah, you do one thing. No, you expand the test one. If you can see, you create a teacher database, you create test one. Just go to the test one database and expand it, its table section. Let's watch. We have a student and teacher right here. You did create yesterday these tables. Nasib tables, I don't think so. If you create it by yourself, then that's okay.
Yeah, I just created this. And the question is that why is it not showing the first name, last name, and email with the phone number in here?
Okay, let me check it. Nasib. Drop table Nasib. First name, last name. ID, select type. Primary key text, last name. Okay, do one thing, Nasib. Go to the line number 8. Click at the end of that. Re-execute that. Okay, now do what? Instead of N, make it capital N. Nasib. Make it capital. Let's re-execute it. Okay. Let's see what's the problem. ID. You put select type. Table. Save. Okay, let's watch it. Resultant grade. Export it. We have phone number. We don't have. It just took the database. Okay, come and click on that. On the right hand side, can you see the resultant grade? Which is in blue. No. Under that section, under the schema. Yeah, this one. Click on that. Is it working? Okay, just click on that. Come and click on and that button, which is under that blue. Yeah, come down. You can see that we have one drop down. Click on that again. Yeah, click that section. Wait a second. Select type worker. Nasib, I guess you specify the names and structure of the table, like select type, table, partitions, these things. I guess you mentioned, or you didn't put it in a right way. Just do one thing: drop Nasib table and recreate it again. Check it if whether it's working or not, because you have already Nasib. So drop that. Great job. Now recreate it. Click on that. Yeah. It says warning. Wait, first use the database. Select the database. Okay. Nasib, you did one thing. You create the database name, Nasib, and you're creating the table name as well, Nasib. This is not working like that. You have to change the name of the table accordingly. Just do one thing. Again, drop that Nasib table. Again, drop it. Great job. Now go to that line number 7 and make Nasib 1. Nasib 1. First make it Nasib 1. Yeah. Now click on the end. Yeah. And hit the enter. What it says, integer display weight is deprecated and will be removed in a future release. Okay, no worries. So now do one thing. Now describe Nasib 1. Nasib 1. Now execute it. Okay, what it says, it's again creating the database. Okay, let's see your problem at the end. It might be you facing configuration errors. That's why. Okay. Now stop.
Is it okay to put for the phone number integer or varchar?
It's okay. You put integer, so you can put worker. No worries. Put worker. Because if you want to add plus sign plus 093 or some special symbols, you need to put worker for that. Okay, do one thing, Nasib. Now stop your sharing. Let's see your problem at the end. Okay, Marina raised their hand. What's your problem, Marina?
Hello, I create a table, but it doesn't work. I don't know what's the problem.
Okay, share your screen. Use test, but you didn't create test. You have to make it use test one. You select the test, which you don't have a test database. Make it test one. Okay, now execute it. Press execute it. Okay, why does it say no database selected? Double check. Refresh it. Now do what? Again, come to the line number 8, line number 8. Yeah. Click at the end of that.
Excuse me, sir, this test is not just a name.
This is a database name which you created. Use test one.
So we can put any kind of name for this.
No,
So
you have already created test one database. So whenever you are creating table inside test one, you need to check that database.
you mean this part?
Yeah, you have created yesterday already.
Mm-hmm.
And now go,
Okay.
now click on at the end of that after the semicolon to execute it. First of all, what it says, use test. It again executing use test. Why? Unknown database test. It says test. Okay, do one thing. Create another database. Come to the line number 12.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Create database. Create database. Now put the name of the database. You can name it anything. School. Name it school. Yeah, put semicolon. Execute it. No. Bring the cursor at the end of that. Execute it. You're good to go now. Refresh it. Now click on line. Yeah, enter. Hit the enter button. Now use school. Use school. Semicolon. Now, no, don't go that. Just click at the end of that line number 13. Now execute it. Now do one thing, hit the enter. Press the enter button. Now do one thing. Copy that, create table job. Create table job. Till end of the line. No, do not take the describe. Just till end of the semicolon. Copy it, Control C. And paste it at line number 14. Now execute it. Now do one thing, hit the enter. Hit the enter and describe that. DESC. Describe. Yeah, space job. You created a job. Put semicolon and execute it. No, don't go under that. Now you can see that you have created your table successfully and described it.
So means the problem with the previous one, it was because of the name.
Yeah, because of the name you did mistake.
So when we do the mistake in the first time and we solve the mistake, so why it cannot be run?
Sometimes in the buffer memory of your computer, it stores their random file. So for that, you need to restart your computer or end it from the task manager. So it will work again, because sometimes buffer overflows in memory. That's why they keep the previous one record inside the RAM of the computer. Now you
Okay,
got
thank
your
you.
point? Yeah, most welcome. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Now we have learned that how we will create a table, how we will create database, how we will add fields, data types inside that, and how we will use it, and how we will drop that. We all learn all of these stuffs. Now we need to insert some information. We learned how to create tables, so for that we need to learn how to insert information inside that. So I created a student table. Let's see student table. Student table consists of what? Consists of ID, name, and email. For that, let's do one thing. I will use test1. I will put a semicolon. Let's select the database. Okay, it's selected. Now, next job is to what to do. Describe DSC. What? DSC student. Put a semicolon, run it. I can see that here is a clear structure that I have an ID, name, email. So for that, you have to do what? Now, for inserting values inside these columns. Now, till this point, I learned only that I can do it. I have to create one ID, name, and do what? Let me take one in a new table. Till this, you have learned that how you're gonna create this kind of structure inside your computer. But right now, we will learn that how you gonna store values inside these structures: ID, name, and email in student table. Now you will learn that how you will store values like one on email like this, how you will fill these empty spaces or empty cells inside database. Now we will learn that. For that, go to your MySQL and we will start from insert command itself. What does insert command do? Insertion will insert or store values inside our tables for us. Now we'll do what? Insert into table. Now, instead of table, you have to what? You have to specify the name. Insert into what? Into student. Okay, you have to put the name of the table. Put a curly braces. You have another syntax values. Put a square bracket for that and hit the semicolon. Now your duty is that you need to specify the columns for that. So for that, I have ID, comma, name, comma, what, comma, email. I need to insert these values inside these, I need to insert values inside these columns. So for that, for ID, you need to do what? You need to put a digits, because my ID type, data type is what? Integer. So for that, I would put 1. Put a comma. After that, you have a column of field of name. So for that, you need to wrap the name inside a double quote or inside a single quote. So I will put Khan. I will put the name Khan. Put a comma, and last we have email. So for the email, you need to also put what? Double quotes or single quotes. So I will put Khan 123 @gmail.com. This is the syntax which I wanna insert or feed the data inside the table. Now, as of now, you can see that I only just see the structure of this. Now let's execute this command. Hit the enter. You can see that I got a green button. So my data is executed successfully. Now for seeing that data that which I entered, how we will see that, we have another command called select. Select, as of now, do what? Select star from student only. Hit the semicolon and execute it. Now, if you see, I entered, you can see right here, I entered khan12 @gmail.com. This was my data which I feed to the system. Basically, with the help of insert command, we learned that how we gonna feed the data into the already created table or structure, and with the help of select command, we will display that inserted data inside, which is stored inside the table. Star means all. So for now, you have to do what? Go to your system. I will pass it in your chat box. Do one thing. Start from scratch, from beginning. Create database from the beginning. Create database. Create table inside that database. Now, next job is you have to do what? When you create the table inside that database, you need to do what? Now, as of now, you need to do insertion. Insert some record inside each field. And after that, do the selection part. Select it. Your task. Go ahead. I will give you 5 minutes for that. Once you're done, just type done in the chat box. I will stop the recording for a minute. Okay. Now I will create a new database for you guys. Just watch it. Let's make it Facebook. Create. Now we will practice on Facebook web application. We will create the Facebook databases. Create database. We will name it Facebook. I'll hit the enter. So what it says, can't create Facebook database, already exist. Where is it exist? Okay, we have already created Facebook. Okay, we will do what? We'll make a use of it. Okay, we have already Facebook. So I will do one thing, use which test one. I will drop that table. Test one is selected. I will drop test one. Drop database test one. So I drop test one. Now next duty is to do what? Use. Okay, no worries. Test one. Solitaire. Now my duty is that I have already Facebook, so I don't need to recreate that database again. You guys, if you see that you don't have Facebook, so you have to create it if it's already exists, so you don't need to create. Now inside Facebook, I want to use Facebook database. for doing operations on top of the Facebook. So Facebook is selected. If you can see on left hand side, the Facebook text is gray, bolded, and it's in black. Now, after that, I want to create tables inside Facebook. So let's create a table. I will create table, name it registration table, register. So for creating to Facebook table, okay, create table, register. Now let's come and add the fields. I will go to Facebook page, Facebook registration page, Facebook sign up. If you click on Facebook sign up, let's analyze their fields. Okay, for that we have first name, last name, we have mobile number, we have password, we have birth date that we need to enter, we have gender. These amount of information inside Facebook database we have. Let's go to our my skill section. As of now, first of all, every ID which we are creating inside Facebook, it has an ID. Let's create an ID for that as well. Okay, ID integer, because with the help of that user, only with the help of that credential, we can only do login. But that ID must be unique. At that time only you can log in. If you have two same ID for two person, so they cannot do login. That's why we need to add primary key inside that. So int primary key constant I will apply. After that, I need to do what? I need to enter first name. So I will do one first name. I will do camel casing. For that, I will need to enter text. No worries. I'll put a comma. Next, we need a last name. Last name. I will put text. Enter a comma. Okay, next we need mobile number. Mobile number. Only mobile is okay. For that, you need to take varchar. Specify the size 12 digit. So hit the enter and come a little bit down. Put a comma right here. And in this point, we need to add a new password. New password. We are creating actually the field of Facebook registration page inside our table. Just remember that at the time of creation of this registration page, the DB developer or database developer just created in a way that we are going to create it right now. That is all. Not a big, it's not rocket science. Whatever syntax and command we are using right now, they use the same way. Okay, next we have what? We have birth date. Be able to birth date. Okay, let's make it birth. Sorry for spelling mistake. Birth date. Okay, for birth date, we need to take what? We need to take date function. Just we study. Next, we have what? We have gender. Gender. Though gender is a text, male, female, custom. So you can take text only, or you can take worker as well. No worries at all. These were all about the information which inside the registration table of the Facebook we are going to store. Now, what is the error? What it says? Why it giving us the error?
Broken, I think his new password doesn't have a data
Yeah,
type.
we didn't specify the data type of the password. So for that, we will add a worker and we will put the password size till we can add 34. Password limit will be 34 for that. Now, next part is that we have to execute. We have to create that table. For creation of that table, you need to just just simply run it. Now, if you see, I created. I got a green button. Now, next job is to describe it, see whether it is created or not. Registered. Register. Describe register. Click on that. You can see that we created successfully register table. We have everything inside that. Now, our next job is let's insert value. Put value inside register. Now, next job is use insert keyword command. Insert into register. Now in register first bracket, you need to specify those columns, those fields that you want to put value inside that. So for that, I need to add ID, comma, select the columns, first name, next job is last name, next one is mobile, comma, I need to select new password, put a comma, and next is birth date. Sorry, birth date. And last one, we need to select the gender. Now, your next duty is to put value inside that. Hit the enter, values, put a bracket and add a semicolon at the end of the line. So next part, now inside that, accordingly, you have first ID, so you need to add a number. So for that, I will add 1. Put a comma between them for separation. Okay, for first name, just we are using text. So for that, we need to put it inside a single quote or double quotes. So I will add a single quote. Inside single quote, I will name it Furqan. I will add a comma, put a single quote again. For last name, I will put Hajizada. Put a comma. Next for mobile, I will do it plus 9370443246. This is my number. Next, put a comma. Now, next job is that I have to do what? I have to add my new password. Suppose I will do TY. I will put a random text like this. Next, put a comma, my birth date. I will add a birth date. For birth date, you need to do what? You need to specify it like year 1998. For 1998, next we have dash. But in 1998, 06/20 June. Next job is put a comma and gender is male. This was all about the insertion. Now click on that at the end of the line and see whether our command is working or not, whether we fill the data in a correct way or not. Just hit the executable button. Yeah, congratulations. We successfully insert values inside our table. Now our duty is how we will see this inserted stored information inside our table. For that, we have select command, select star. Star means select all the information or all the fields which is present inside the table. Which table? Register table. Select star from register. Now for that, we also need to add a from command. Select star from register. Now, if you execute that, we can see that we have entered 1 ID Furqan is 1. First name Furqan, last name Hajizada, mobile number is this, new password is this, birth date is this, and gender is this. This is how Facebook stored our information inside their tables. Now you got my point. Now let's do one thing. Control C. just for sake of understanding, but I will do it. I will re-execute it. I will make it one more. Just put a 3 inside ID. Make it at the end. Click at the end. Now, let's re-execute select star. If you can see now, I have 3 records. I put it my duplicate names, but my IDs are different. So you can see that for you can assume that inside here we have Farqan Ahmad, inside here last one we have Ali. Just assume it like this. All the information will store in a tabular format like this, which we can see it right here. This was all about insertion and selecting how we will insert and how we will select data for displaying. Yeah, Khalid says that in real life we will know. Khalid, in real life we will not do like that. In real life, whenever the path is totally belongs to development team, so developers will take the value and use some business logic, and use capture the data with other languages like Java, PHP, React.js, or they will use Node.js, and they will store it inside the database. It means that with the help of what? With the help of code, they will insert the data inside the databases. They will not manually do it. Okay, next.
For him,
Yeah.
can I share my screen? I'm getting an error and I don't exactly know why.
Okay, you're Katya, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, share Katya. Marina, I will see you once. I just seen that you raise your hand. Okay, what's your error? Unknown column, new password. Okay, Katya, I guess you didn't first add a new password, after which when you create a table register, you add a new password. Am I right?
No, I first created it and then I added it.
Okay, do one thing, Katya. Do one thing. Come to line number 55. Yeah. Here, do one thing. Hit the enter. Enter, enter. Drop table. Drop table. Register. Drop that table register. Now execute it. Okay, now do one thing. Come to line number 55. Come to line number 55 at the end of line number 55. 54, sorry, 54. I didn't see that. 54. Yeah, wait a second. Let me check your syntax, whether it's correct or not. Okay, now do one thing, Katya. Execute that line. Now you're good to go. Now come to line number 55, Katya. Line number 55, execute that line as well. Let's see whether the structure is clear. Yeah, you're good to go. Now scroll it a little bit, this section. Yeah, now your duty is to execute this section. Execute it. What it says? Unknown column, new password. Why it say? Okay, you might be facing mistakenly enter password. Okay, can you see, Katya, at the time of creation of the new password, you only put PAS, you didn't put PASS. So erase at the time of insertion, just erase that PS, 1S. Yeah, now re-execute it again.
Oh, I see. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Yeah, you can stop your sharing. Marina, what's your problem?
I have a question. I'm confused about the value. In the real life, we cannot know that what the user will put for value. So how we can design the table to collect the value from the user?
That totally depends on the development team. We are just only learning that how the workflow will happen. Basically, these stuffs are belongs.
At least we have to have idea that how they
Yeah.
will do this, that we can
Definitely.
test.
Yeah, definitely. I will show you. Look, Marina, in first name section, what kind of data are you gonna put? Can you tell me?
For the first name, text.
Yeah, totally. You have to select which data type for that inside the table,
Text.
right? For last name,
Text.
for mobile,
For mobile,
yeah,
into
yeah, worker, definitely worker they will take. A new password,
for the password, also
worker,
work.
yeah.
Yes.
For birth date, they will take what? Date.
Date.
For gender, they will take what?
Text.
So this was all about which we did. So they understand that these form are created by developer. Whenever they are creating, they know that in this field, what will user put? So if you think that, okay, user might put a random digit like this, yeah, user can put it, but this depends on the developer. Developer will not take text right here. Developer will take it worker. Whether you're putting a number, whether you're putting a text, whether you're putting a special symbol, it will acceptable for that. Now you understand?
Somehow, yeah.
Okay, no
Thank you.
worries. Whenever we go ahead, you will understand it definitely. No worries at all. Now your duty is you don't need to worry about what people were putting, we don't know, because these stuffs are belongs to development team, unless just you take the idea that this is the insertion command, we did it manually like this. Even tomorrow I will show you that even you don't need to do it manually like this. I will show you the GUI way, that how you're gonna enter, create database, describe, create a table, insert a value by clicking on the buttons and filling the form inside MySQL workbench. Okay. As of now, these concepts are important. You need to understand, select, insert. These commands are very vital for you. Just learn it. Any other questions? Okay, let me share my screen. Let's see what's the question. Thank you. No, thank you. Okay. Let's see how that was very great. Okay. Thank you. Worker. We don't need right worker or password. Yes, Sadaf, we did write it. Okay. As of now, we will winding up right here. So I will do one thing. Our today session is completed till this point. I will stop the recording.